much like that. If you just put these together in that order, I'll go ahead and do that, reassemble it. Set that aside. Put this back together. Take the white plastic part. You're going to need a new belt. Here's the new Dyson belt. Put the belt into the housing and pull it through this end about halfway. So you have, it looks about like that. Slide this onto your belt. So you have something like that, and then when you pull this through, it'll snap into place. Next, take your 3 ball bearings and put them in the little recessed areas where they ride. Next, take this piece, and the 3 ball bearings fit in the 3 holes. And then this piece, the 3 ball bearings, same deal. So you get something like that. Next, you're going to take this part that you already put the washer and the spring on, hold on to the spring. Oh, I forgot to show you. Let me get this out. It's important when you put this back together that these 2 pieces mesh together. When you put these together, they have to go together in this fashion. Don't let them ride on here. You'll never get it back together. Make sure that when you put it back together, they line up so that they can fit like a puzzle piece, like that. And that's what I'm going to do here. Let me get my ball bearings back where they're supposed to be. Washer, spring. Then what I do is make sure that they're going to fit together. If not, you can just adjust it. There. Now they're fitting in between each other. After this step, take this piece, and that just fits right on top of there. And this little brake pad looking piece fits right onto this pulley, right in the little cutout area. Take your other belt, the skinny belt, put that over it, and you're going to just re-put it back onto here. Now, this belt, one piece has to come out of this opening, and the other end comes out this opening. And these are a little tricky to put back together again because this part wants to keep falling out, and this piece wants to keep coming out. So, take your time with it, and you can make it happen. Now, just like you took it apart, it should just snap down, and there it is. Make sure your belt, one half's here, the other half is here. Put your 2 screws back in. Don't over tighten these. They just get them snug. Make sure everything's free to turn. I'm going to put this end piece back in. In the end, if this comes out, it's just a little plastic bushing. The smaller part goes in first and the bigger part goes up. So in that fashion, just place it over the shaft and push it in. Next, take the bearing that came out the end and just put it over the shaft. Push it down. And we're going to put the retaining clip on the end. Now it's important that this part is turned fully clockwise. Just like that. What that does is it makes it so you can put this ring on. That little shaft in the middle, this goes up and down on it, so you want to make sure that it's all the way down.
Okay, one thing I'd like to point out here is the retaining clip, the one that comes from Dyson, this one right here. Whenever you take these off, sometimes they tend to not go back on, because when you use the pliers to squeeze these apart, the metal sometimes won't spring back. So you can see that little bit of gap right there. So what I do is I just go to Ace Hardware, and this is a 1/4 inch retaining clip, and it looks a little bit different, but it still holds the same. So 1/4 inch, and that's what you need to get.
Okay, so take that new retaining clip and just slide it over the shaft, and then I take my flat bladed screwdriver on the side with the 2 holes, and I take the other driver and I push down equally until you hear it clip on. Push down, just make sure it's on, and there it is. There's one piece left to put on. It's this little clip that we took off first, and that goes on the top. Just take the clip, put it on the front, and push it up, and there you go. No binding. Make sure this is free. When it's clockwise and you turn one, they should all turn. This pulley and this pulley. When you turn it back toward you, it should separate them. This should spin freely. This should spin freely. There you go. One replaced belt. Now you just have to put it back in the Dyson.